These are just frames from Amazon. You can buy a 4-pack, wooden or a good overlay, one or the other. But I have been doing some reproduction canvases, and they are selling like hotcakes right now. So don't stop. When something's good, you can stop after it sits in your booth and collects dust. But why it's still selling, you keep on making it. So old frames aren't always the easiest thing to find when you're looking for the vintage vibe, the vintage style. And I thought, when I looked at these on Amazon, they were pretty close. So we're going to get the frame apart first. Take the glass out. See, I don't know. I mean, it could just be a paper overlay. I don't know if it is. It's good. These are the prints that I'm going to use on just the frames. And it is Grace and Gratitude. And if you do not know, they are hard to come by. They're highly sought after. A lot of times you can find Gratitude, but not necessarily always Grace. So these will fit perfectly that old vintage style. Usually there's no glass on them. Usually they're as is. So I'm going to share with you how I'm going to make them protective, because you could just tell this is a print. This is just, I printed it off, found them on Etsy, downloaded the printable, and I just printed them off on cardstock on my inkjet printer. It's just an Epson. I'm always afraid that my image is going to smear. Even my printer did cockeyed printing out. I don't know why things do what they do sometimes. Look, it's kind of I don't know how things get moved. But I like to seal my image in before doing anything with just a clear coat. My clear coat that I use for everything is Weather Defense. It's the metal one. I buy it in bulk. I've now been linking the store in my description if you're interested, but it's consistent. Consistently, it does well for me. I don't have bubbling. I don't have cloudiness. I don't have, oh, this one's not. Occasionally, I do get a bottle that doesn't work. But after sitting on the shelf, it's not one of those like, well, now I can't use it. I only used half of it, and now it won't spray out. We all know what clear coats do. So that's why I switched over to something that's tried and true. Things are not cheap. So all I'm going to do is just spray in my image. I just want to set that ink. Whether it would bleed on my next step or not, I don't know, but I feel better using a spray to spray it in place than rolling, brushing, moving stuff around that might smear it. We're going to turn up our cuteness factor here. So if you saw my spring prints that I did last time, I did the Sleeping Lamb and some other little ones. I love these two images. I love that they kind of coordinate. Definitely got the spring vibe going on. So I'm going to go ahead and seal those in with the Weather Defense tube. But I want to seal these in so nothing bleeds. Nice thing about working with paper, it really does dry pretty fast. But as you can see, the paper's already going wonky from getting wet. It was already kind of wonky after it printed. So I just like to tape it down onto this board. As little as possible, but just enough to hold it. Now, because I'm not necessarily looking for these humongous crackles, I do have the fine line varnish for Grace and Gratitude that I didn't really have a ton of luck with it, but what I'm doing for these is to make them feel like they're canvas, make them protected, make the paper, like if for some reason it got something on it, it wasn't going to destroy it, because some of the Grace and Gratitude I have bought before and resold from thrifting have had water damage on them. And for these, I'm going to roll it out. I actually cleaned my roller, so I'm just fluffing up from it being, how it gets hard and crusty from being dry. So we're going to start off with the number 1, which looks kind of like Elmer's glue. And then just roll it on. want to make sure everything's covered, so I'm just going in the opposite direction. Opposing, opposite, what, you know. And you're going to think, oh, it looks chalky, but it will dry clear. And because it's paper, it's not going to take a terribly long time to dry. And taping it down to some type of board is very helpful because it's hard to roll just a piece of paper. Well, even though this is cardstock, but Fan Art also has a classic crackle, and now I want these to be, I want to make sure nothing got on them, more of a canvas looking that's cracked. Now the rolling gives little bitty tiny, and then of course it's even, but you don't get as big of crackles on it. And I would like bigger crackles, so I'm going to brush this on right out of the bottle. I'm going to try not to go in a lot. It's hard because my OCD wants me to try to do it in a line. And people felt like you could see brush strokes. Well, on reproduction ones you can. Because you're working with glue. So imagine trying to get Elmer's glue to be thin and right. Nah, it doesn't work so much. So I guess however I can get it on here is how I'm going to achieve it. I haven't tried this technique yet. Of course, this gets it on much thicker, so it's going to take longer for it to dry. Got one. It's funny, you always look like, did I get enough on there? It's so hard when it starts to dry and you start second guessing, you're like you missed a spot. Okay, we'll just let it dry. Okay, now we're moving on to number 2. I'm going to pour it out on a plate because I'm going to roll it on again. Got to be kind of careful because it kind of crystallizes around the top. So I try to pick those off a little bit so it doesn't fall into my mixture. And then there again, we roll it on. Just make sure you get everything covered. Now it's kind of hard to tell when it's dry, but this is really like trying to pull up my tape here. I do actually see some crackles in here. I wasn't sure. So I'm taking the Pentart Antiquing Paste. This is in the Umbra, I don't know. And we're going to give it some age now. You're not really going to see too awful much. Like it's, as it says, it is fine lines. Just enough to, oh, I see them. I see them now. Oh, maybe the fine line one is the one I want to use on my reproduction artwork. Now I'm going to take a shot cloth with just lint free, just rub off the excess. And let's see if you can see them or not. Maybe on the picture. Very fine lines. Tell if I see any on him or not. Let's see. Let's put it on where he's white. And there's some hairline. Definitely not as much though. See a little bit in his hair. A little bit. So now I'm going to go back in and seal that all in. Unfortunately for the varnish part, I can't, it didn't wash out of the roller. You know, it's already sealed in, so it should be safe to just roll it on there. Just something to seal in everything. Like I said, it really, if you could feel and touch it, it feels like canvas once it's all done. I may not have enough varnish for my other two critters, but I'll come up with something. I placed an order. I didn't have any idea that it would be selling so well. You don't know. Brushing it on definitely takes a lot longer for it to dry. You have to wait for all those spots. Can't apply it. So now we're going back in with the crackle number 2, the second part. And then I'm going to try to random brush it on. Get that extra off where it kind of pulled up on me. Something about baby animals. They're just so cute. Okay, now I'm going to cut it. If you try to rip the paper off, it will rip the paper. So I'm just going to use my cutter, remembering that my prints went wonky. And I'm going to take the piece of glass that it came with, though I'm not putting them back underneath the glass. I need to see my sizing to see where I need to cut it down. So just because of course the copier paper, the cardstock is bigger than the frame. I'm going to back these with some of the foam board from the Dollar Tree store, so I'm just taking that same piece of glass and then I'll just start cutting out some to back it. I don't know if this is going to melt the poster board or not, but I kind of wanted to put the image down on the poster board this time. Right? Like, it's too hot, it's too hot, it's melting, it's melting. I'm melting! Okay, now this should fit. It should, well, it's the same size as the glass. It needs like just a hair. Oh, okay. Okay, and the frame. You fit now? We fit now. Yeah. Yes, we fit now. Okay, I'm going to use my handy dandy tool. So brushing it on, definitely you get a lot of character. A lot. So going back in with our antiquing paste. And then just let it get into all those little crackles. I wish you could feel it. It just feels, it feels like canvas. Oh, fun, fun. I have to go through the same process of cutting them out. Who doesn't love getting ahead of themselves? I forgot to put my varnish on. Just seal that in. Okay, here we go. Nope, not using the glass. Just the print. I think the frame's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and use hot glue because it's already hot. Oh, I went off the side of the frame. Ah. And then some contractor's paper just to make a pretty back. Last thing, since I took the stand off of it, we need to do some hangers. 5, 3, 5. There. Yes, I think that's it. Yes. Just use the piercing tool to poke a little hole.